All right, time to get to the mount. So we're gonna be going over the cross choke. We're gonna give you a couple of versions of this. We're gonna give you kind of like the classic Hodge or Gracie style, and we're gonna give you a version that Keenan Cornelius uses, which this guy finds very effective. I haven't played with it as much, but right back here. So for the initial cross choke setup, let's assume that our partner is making this X and being super obnoxious. All right, the idea is that we shouldn't really be able to get through here. Somebody's got pretty good defense, but we should be able to, let's just remove your arms for a second. We should be able to use this to make a ramp to slide our hand underneath. So if Rory gets that shelled up, I'm gonna take his lapel and I'm using that lapel to create the ramp. And it's not like literally gonna lift his forearm up very much, but it's just gonna create the avenue for me to slide underneath. Whereas if he's just doing that and his gi is there, it's a little bit harder, especially if it's like tight. It's harder for me to get underneath depending on how his gi is crossed over. So we're gonna open the gi up, open the lapel up to here, and then slide it. This is also helping us with adjusting the slack. While we're doing this, we have to be wary of bridges, right? So we're usually gonna be hips up. So now if he bridges, it doesn't affect me as much. And if we turn this way, as Rory bridges, my heels are gonna come tucked underneath his hip to keep that backwards tension. I'm basically doing a little bit of a deadlift here, and that gives me plenty of time to post as necessary. So that's gonna help you with your control. And once we get ourselves to here, ideally, I wanna try to angle off to the side, but let's assume that we can't, right? If I'm able to angle off to the side and give this leg as a bait, he may reach for it, in which case I get my choke for free. That's something you can definitely try, but let's assume that somebody's kind of keeping their elbows in really tight. We're gonna be using that jockey mount to extend as we can, and then we're gonna bring our hand around, and we're gonna use our elbow to shave our partner's face, I believe is the term that Hodge or Gracie uses. So I'm just elbowing him in the jaw, moving his neck out of the way, hooking my thumb in. Now that I've got that X set up, I'm gonna be rowing my elbows isometrically, and I'm gonna use, again, that gravity concept where I'm not pulling up, I'm locking my arms and I'm just drifting my weight slowly over my partner's head. The objective is that I should be able to get a tap before my head hits the mat. So if I have to get all the way over to here, I've probably got some adjustments that I need to make within the actual grip. Again, once we get this, I want to talk about that taking the slack out concept. I don't just get the grip and cross it and go. I make that little pull to take all of that tension, or to set all of that tension in the back of the lapel, and then I row and bow forward. The version, we're just gonna switch this up. The Keenan does, I'm gonna have Rory show it to you.
So in Keenan's variation, he gets the same grip like he would with the classic style cross choke. He comes over top with his elbow right on top of the head so that he's eliminating space, so it's gonna be very difficult for your opponent to reach up and try to defend this. And he'll use this to break the posture. So rather than using the shaving technique to twist the spine this direction, we're actually gonna create a bit of a bow in the neck here. As he does that, he grabs the gi deep with the thumb, right about the ear or right behind the ear. And then from here, all he does is brings the forearm up and starts cutting across. So in the same way Rob was talking about using gravity, dropping forward, I'm gonna be doing the same thing, but I'm thinking about dropping this elbow to the mat on this side while I rock forward. From here, get that grip right behind the ear, bring it over top. It can be over the jaw at first to create that shaving technique, and then Rob will start lifting that jaw up slightly, and I just drop using, once again, gravity rather than my muscle to try and finish the choke.
So yeah, both these versions are obviously super effective, obviously employed by extremely high level practitioners. You'll figure out one that works for you. Again, I'm agnostic about this. I think they're both great. I've just got more time in on that Hodge or Gracie version. Rory's got a little more time in on this one, so I thought I'd have him show it and try them both out, see which one you like.